Hello, hello. Good morning. Oh, just realized I didn't turn on my kettle. All right. This is the new Phoenix Oolong. I just need to do one more thing. A lot of tea on sale. I'm gonna wait a little bit while I'm setting up. Trying to go live on Instagram as well. But there's a lot of tea that we already sell. So if there's any questions, I can see your chat on my computer. So I'm gonna be putting some tea on sale on top of the sale that is already happening on the website. That's why I need my computer here. So the extra sale will be only available while I am live. So it'll be fun. Just need to set up my camera. All right, that'll be good. But the first thing that we're gonna do is my all-time favorite tea from this trip. Well, it's not my favorite, but it's definitely my top 3. But it's something that I feel like people that are new in pu'er that they have to try. Alright, see, my setup's ready. Right, first thing we're doing, I'm doing, it's a pu'er. It's great weather for pu'er. And if you just put the code early 10 right now, you're gonna get an extra 10% off. Oh man, camera kind of. Fix the camera real quick. Right, early 10. I'm gonna put it on the chat. And then that will be an extra 10% off for whatever tea that I'm making, really. So it's not. This is a raw pu'er from 2018. Beautiful leaf. This is from like about 300-year-old tree. You can see it's big. And this one you can brew like 30 times with boiling water. Just put boiling water real quick, rinse it really fast. I've been letting everybody try this whenever they do my tea tasting nowadays. Again, this is 2018 Chiang Mai. It's easier if you communicate with me on YouTube. Because on Instagram, there's only 1 hour of live streaming. Probably gonna be here for like a couple hours. So this tea right now, let's see, it's $36. Oh, it's not even on sale. I'll put it on sale first. I thought I did it. So it's gonna be on sale, and on top of it you're gonna get an extra sale if you buy it while I'm live. So 2018 Chiang Mai. There you go. Now it's on sale. Plus 10% off. This camera is kind of weird. Oh well, it's gonna be a little bit awkward. But 2018 Chiang Mai. I'm gonna put a link on YouTube. Pick up some 80-year-old Dragon Balls. Are they compared to the 150-year-old? No, it's so I have a story for that. So the 150-year-old one is probably my best pu'er ever. So I send those ball samples to a bunch of different places in China, trying to find something similar. So they all comes to me like, hey, I think we found something. Hey, I think we found something. So the 80-year-old one is, it cost me very expensive, but it's missing this, it's a little bit too smoky, and it's the same sweetness, but it's a bit too smoky and a bit drier. That's why they're much cheaper, but it cost me a lot more. So that's why it's just gonna be a one-time thing. It's still very good for the price, especially with the discount. But I will never be able to sell that at the normal price, honestly. So it's very good, and we're gonna, you know, I might have to try it again, but we're gonna bring this ropeware first. But we only have 1 kilo. We didn't have a lot. So it's interesting for you, if you had that Pingtao ball, the ropeware, then you're gonna still, that one is still much better, obviously, because otherwise I will not put a sale on this one. But it's still very premium, just a bit too smoky for me, and that smokiness kind of like disturbs some of the sweetness of it. Still very good though. But yeah, definitely get that while it's last, because I only have 1 kilo, which is like roughly about 60-80 bowls. I think 80 bowls. What you should get is this one though, 2018 Chiang Mai. This is actually closer to that Pingtao ball. It's not as sweet, but it has a stronger aftertaste. Sorry guys for the Instagram, the camera kind of like not really straight. It's a stupid tripod. But I'm gonna try this a couple more times. You can see this is beautiful. This is only the first brew, and it's already amazing. Well, you get to see a little bit of my tea table. This is my swan tea pads, which has changed color. It's kind of nice. I'll turn on the table actually. Might as well. A lot of really good black tea from my from this recent trip. So I know a lot of people really like black tea. So recently, I think I found 3 really amazing black tea, and all of them are on sale right now. I just have too much tea that I have to go through what we have before putting them on sale. This is really sweet. In the beginning, it's really sweet. If you brew it really quick, I'm using boiling water. Put about 5 grams. Some people like to put 8 grams. Then you get a little bit bitterness, but it's still like very nice because the aftertaste is very clean, very sweet. Again, if you want to get this tea is on sale, and with the code early10, you get an extra 10% off on top of the sale price. Okay, so if you hop in on YouTube, I put the code on YouTube. Just tianwiz.com/@YouTube. No, I'm sorry, youtube.com/@tianwiz. That's my YouTube channel. The next tea I'm gonna be brewing is this Phoenix Oolong. I was really enjoying this. This one is one of the drunkest one. This is from Phoenix Mountain. It's very floral. So if you like a floral oolong, this is like a medium roast. I have a special teapot for this too. When I first had it, I wasn't really a fan of it, but then the more I drink it, now I really like it. So that just tells you sometimes you just have to give the tree a couple try. I also, when I first had it, it was like really hot. I don't think this tea is great for summer. Now that the weather cooled down a lot, it's a lot, much better. So I'll show you what tea is this. So the first tea, 2018 Chiang Mai, is a ropeware. A lot of people do not like ropeware, and before my trip, I hate ropeware. So I try a lot of like really premium ropeware. I never really liked them. So this year though, it's changed a lot. So you see me drinking a lot more ropeware because I think I figure out the kind of ropeware I like, which is tend to be really sweet. And a lot of my customers agree that it's just much nicer to drink a good ropeware that is sweet. And most ropeware are just too dry. I'm just not a fan of it. And the nice thing about it, you can just do 5 grams and you can brew it like all day long. Oh, very good. All right, while I wanna keep drinking that, I'm gonna move on to the next tea, which is the Xingrenxiang. This is a Xingren. It means almond. So it has a fragrance of like a toasted almond. Can't really see the color of the tea, huh? But this is what it looks like. Okay, so I was at this farm. I actually slept at the factory and the farm. It was one of the most beautiful area in China. So I'm planning to take people there if I can. Alright, so this one is only brewed like 1 or 2 times, so I'm gonna dump this. Beautiful color even on the second brew. Alright, so the next one is Xingrenxiang. And same thing. If you buy it while I'm live and use the code early10, you're gonna get an extra 10% off. So this one is the same category as Dakshit Oolong or Honey Orchid. So any tea from this area is all about the single bush, single cultivar. So when I was hanging out at this farm, I was fortunate enough to see the 20 different cultivar that they're growing. And they looks very similar, but if you put next to each other, it's very different. And each cultivar, they don't call it cultivar in China, I guess. They just call it this, each bush, each single bush has its own character, different color. And I was asking the farmer, how can you tell? And often you just kind of like look at the skeleton of the leaf, look at the edges. So it's pretty cool. All right, so this one is the rinse. So every single varietal should have its own aroma. So this is like a sweet almond, but it's also flowery. Like I wouldn't say it's just completely nutty. And I realized with this one, even though I like to use a lot of boiling water, but it tends to taste much sweeter if I just use 195. So I'm gonna lower this temperature to 195 instead of boiling. It still tastes really good with boiling, but for some reason, for like a lot of Phoenix Oolong, when you use boiling, the sweetness just doesn't show up. It doesn't really get bitter, but it get too intense with boiling water. It just I prefer it at 195 for now, but I think I'm still trying to find the kind of Phoenix Oolong that you can just use boiling water the whole time. But so far, testing both temperature, definitely way better at 195. Oh, I should have. I realized though, drinking this during the summertime, it's just a lot. It's a lot more rough for your stomach. So I don't recommend this drinking during summertime. During wintertime is great. It's also great with food. Tastes amazing with a lot of like spicy food. It really cut all the grease and without overpowering, because the flavor also, it's really kind of like increase the appetite in a way. Like when I enjoy this with food, I feel like it's just it has the best feeling. Uh, so I'm gonna put a link of this tea. Any questions? Let me know. I'll be happy to answer. I'm only been releasing a few. I mean, a lot. I already released a lot, but it's definitely not all. Just because we have so much tea, so I have to go through the inventory. But usually, during the month of November, I try to release sales for everything. Now, some of them I only have a few. Like this, I only have 2 kilo, so I really don't have a lot. Alright. So in Chaozhou, they like to make this type of tea super strong. And what I mean by super strong, instead of using like 3 grams to 5 grams, they will use like 8 grams. And they will like pack it so much that the liquid is like like barely coming out if you're not using a good teapot. This is why, that's what we call the Chaozhou style. So I feel like it's a bit too intense, even though that's what everybody is doing there. I try to lower it a little bit. But when I'm drinking alone though, sometimes I want to learn to drink the way they do it, because I feel like appreciating the locals does it. Maybe it will give me a different understanding about like how to understand this tea. So nice to see you too. Norris Love Create. I'm responding on YouTube. Very smooth. All right. This is such a great tea. First brew is a bit weak. I don't know your name by your handle, so you'll have to tell me who you are. But I see a lot of people already start shopping on the website, like my sales just going up, and it's going to just keep going up by the day, by Black Friday, the real Black Friday. And even though I'm already releasing a lot, and a lot of my tea is already sold out, by the way. Like my Chinchunmei, honey Chinchunmei is already sold out. The classic everyday Chinchunmei that is 50% off, it's already almost sold out. No, Chinchunmei is already sold out. Yeah, classic Chinchunmei is almost sold out. The maple tree white tea is almost sold out. The good Ping Tao the 150-year-old one, it's on the website, it says sold out, but we actually have like 4 left, like 4 bowl left. Thank you. My family is doing well. My in-law is sick right now, but she just got a common flu. Such a different energy between this and Pu'er. The Pu'er is aged 2018, so this is pretty calming, and this is brand new, so I can definitely feel the caffeine, but also it feels very, very drunky at the same time. So I feel like drinking too much of it, it can be hard for feeling awake. It's just gonna be, you get like this sensation of awake, but at the same time feeling drunk at the same time. So it's kind of hard to explain. And so I can't drink too much of the Phoenix Oolong for that reason. But it's great for like socials. It's great for like I feel like if there's one tea that I can drink all day, it would be Pu'er, not Phoenix. We tried doing that with Phoenix Oolong with a bunch of my regulars, and everybody got really, really messed up after. We were drinking like 6 hours of it. 4 hours, 5 hours. It feels like 6 hours though. Very sweet. So if you like dark shit oolong, you're definitely going to enjoy this a lot. Dark shit oolong is another tea that we are sold out. We have some other dark shit oolong in the shop, but not online. But the one that everybody likes right now is completely gone. I still have a lot of different green tea. There's another tea that I want to really introduce everybody. Is the black tea. So we're gonna do black tea next. One of the most popular black tea from this time is actually this Huaxiang Lapsang Suzhong. Very, very popular. This is a big bag, isn't it? So almost every single person that tried this one are very happy. I have people that hate black tea and then they tried it and they really, really like them. So that's the tea that we're gonna do next. Oof. I'm gonna make it really strong one time. Thank you. Oh, everybody having a good Saturday? All right. Let's see. The front part of the tongue tastes very nice. The back side is a bit dry. You know, so I always teach people to utilize your tongue properly because the front and back sides, they all feel very different. Certain tea tastes better at the front part, certain tea tastes better on the back part, and certain tea you want to focus on the side. So this is definitely more on the front than the back. So this is why sometimes people having trouble with certain tea that are like, oh, this tea is so smooth, and then sometimes if they're not using different part of their tongue, it can feel very different. Now certain tea, like a lot of my white tea, it just tastes good regardless which part of your tongue that you use. So it's interesting to understand how to drink tea too. All right, the next tea will be Huaxiang Lapsang Suzhong. This is definitely a fan favorite. Everybody loves that. I'm putting the link on the YouTube. So join me on YouTube. And plus Instagram only allow. The Instagram only allow me for 1 hour. I learned that last time. And every time I always get dropped. So I'm sick of it. So that's the next tea is Huaxiang Lapsang Suzhong. I just put it on the chat on YouTube. And again, use early 10 and then you get 10% off on these 3 teas so far. On top of the discounted price. So it's very, very cheap. I just want people to watch the video. I'm gonna do this again probably next week and also definitely on the Black Friday itself. So I wanna see how popular it is, whether or not people is going to like this kind of style, right? Because usually when I do live, it's really very spontaneous. Doing live is very tricky because you have to do a lot more preparation. This is definitely, I will say from my recent trip, I found roughly about 10 to 15, maybe 10 that I'm super proud of. Like I bought like maybe 50 new teas, but out of the 50, maybe there are 10, roughly about 10 that I'm super proud of. That this black tea is definitely one of them. And lapsang souchong, if you're familiar or you heard it before, they usually smoke very heavily with like pine woods. This is not that kind of lapsang souchong. Those are the lapsang souchong that became popular in the United States. That was the original black tea that's popular from China. But the Chinese, they hate those lapsang souchong. They actually like this kind that is not flavored. So for many years, we've been selling lapsang souchong that is not smoked, but they taste a little bit more chocolatey, more like malty, almost like golden monkey, almost like a chinchume. This particular one is more lemony, a bit flowery, a little bit almost remind you of like really good version of the Ceylon tea in a way. You know, sometimes you have to put a little bit lemon and a little bit honey. This feels like those kind of tea that you put lemon and honey, except it's 100% natural. When you drink it, you'll be like, oh wow, I don't need to put anything. And you'll be like really happy with it. All right, and this one you can use boiling. I'm gonna rinse this. Huaxiang lapsang souchong. Oh, just it's Barbara. Hello, Barbara. Hopefully I can see you too. Thank you for telling me your name, because just from the handle I can't tell. Yeah. But thank you for joining the live. All right, Huaxiang lapsang souchong. Okay. Again, use code early10 to save 10% off on the 3 teas that we're doing. 2018 Jingmai, Xingrenxian Phoenix Oolong, which this is pu'er, this is oolong, and now it's a black tea. When you smell directly, there's no way you think it's a black tea, to be honest with you. Like if you think, oh yeah, it smells like black tea, I feel like maybe you haven't had enough black tea. There are people that say it smells like black tea. All right, let's try this one. It's very bright. It has a feeling of like a little bit like lemon skin, a little bit, just a little bit, but it's not dry at all. Very smooth. You know how like black tea sometimes can have a lot of tannin, like especially when it's like really bitter. This one is, there is no tannin at all. And for a black tea, this is very, very smooth, very buttery. Really enjoy this one a lot. And it's kind of, when you drink it, it's really expand. I'm gonna make it stronger. Let's see if we get bitter. Because my favorite black tea that is actually on sale is the Taiwanese black tea. And that is my absolute all-time favorite. I like honey chinchume, but honey chinchume is like dessert. If I just want to have tea, like a black tea for the rest of my career, there will be the Taiwanese black tea, which is what I will be drinking next. And that's on sale too. That's normally $40. So during the Black Friday, it's gonna be a lot cheaper, obviously. And that one, you can leave it for hours and it will never get bitter. This one, you can leave it longer, but it's definitely not for hours. Look at how beautiful the color is. I'm gonna get the other black tea real quick. Alright, Sunlin Sea black tea. I'm gonna compare it. It's definitely one of the best black tea I've found, but I don't know if this will beat this Sunlin Sea Taiwanese black tea. I found this one last year, and it's still one of my favorite. This one you can just make it strong, to be honest with you. I'm putting like 7 grams here. Right, Sunlin Sea black tea. Much bigger leaf. So I'm gonna compare the two. See which one is better with like stronger brew. Still not bitter, but I haven't really pushed it really long. So I'm gonna try to push it even more longer steeping time. Same thing, boiling water. I'll use another guy one. Right. So got a lot of orders already coming in. It's crazy, dude. It's already almost end of the year. I already booked my ticket for next year too. Hopefully I will be bringing people. Alright, I think it's strong enough. Still looks good. Still doesn't get bitter. So I think it's safe to say that even if you brew it really long, it's not gonna be bitter. But I tried to left it for hours, and it does get bitter. So, but in the normal steeping time, this black tea does not get bitter. This particular one, in the extreme steeping time, I tried for 3 hours, 4 hours, it still doesn't get bitter. And that's what's really cool about this Taiwanese black tea. Alright, I'm gonna give it a try, both. Still does not get bitter. So now I'm confident to tell people that they don't have to worry about making it taste bitter. It's crazy. The only thing is just don't put it in a tumbler. Okay, that is Hua Xiang Lap Sang Shu Zhong. The next one I will be doing is a Taiwanese black tea. So slightly floral, lemony, sweet honey notes. That's what this black tea is. But I feel like the #1 flavor profile would be that lemony notes. So it's like #1 is lemon, #2 is flower. I would say it's like orchid kind of flower, almost like a Phoenix Oolong kind of flowery. And then #3 flavor profile for this would be the honey notes. So this one is something similar, but I think the honey notes is much stronger, and there is definitely a much stronger nuttiness. Now this one has like a toasted, it has like a toasted peanuts or toasted pistachio kind of smells to it. It has like this savory aroma. This is definitely higher quality, and it reflected on the price. And this is still probably the best Taiwanese black tea I've ever found. All right. So the next one is Sunlin Sea black tea. Again, I'm putting the link on YouTube. It's easier. San Lindsay black tea. This one is just amazing. I don't think I will ever find a black tea that you can just steep it in the, you just like leave it in the tumbler. I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about. I'm gonna grab my tumbler. All right. So this is my favorite tumbler. It has a strainer, it has a cup, and inside is completely porcelain or ceramic, so it doesn't really have any smells. So what I would do, I will put tea that I know doesn't get bitter and just leave it inside with like 180 degree. You can even put boiling, but then it's hard to drink it, you know. And certain tea that will get bitter, certain tea, even something like this that is hard to make it bitter, it will eventually get bitter. But this particular black tea will never get bitter. And I've tested this many times. A lot of my customers test them too. I talk about this tea in one of my YouTube video before. Very good, very nutty, very sweet. So not as floral. This one is definitely more floral. So I feel like a lot of women will like this, a lot of men will like this. But my wife really liked this one, so. And this is also more oily, which means it's smoother on your throat. And it's so hard to find this kind of black tea where you drink it and it just feels comfortable here. San Lindsay black tea. San Lindsay is the name of the mountain in Taiwan. They're usually famous for their oolong. It's a high mountain oolong. But I found that this farm are better at their black tea than their oolong. That is San Lindsay black tea. I'm gonna go back to this real quick because I really like this pu'er a lot. For those that never like pu'er, you gotta give this one at least a try one time. So sweet. I'm gonna put this over here. That's what I'm gonna do. It's this like sweet roasted nuttiness that's just perfect for the weather. Really warm you up. Black tea is great when it's like cold. So you'll see me drinking a lot more oolong, darker oolong and black tea during winter time. Gonna do this one more time. This will be, so this is what I'm trying to show you. If you have a quality black tea like this, you can actually, I'm gonna put this on the side. literally you could just do this. Just leave it inside with hot water. Never gets bitter. Never have to worry. So easy, right? Just leave it there and then fill it up with your hot water. I promise you it will never get bitter. Only this black tea, okay? This Sun Lindsay one. All other black tea will get really bitter. Alright, so after you've done with your session, you can just leave it in this tumbler. Amazing. Now some people that have like really sensitive sensation towards like bitterness, they might feel a bit bitter, but most people will never think this one is bitter. Right, so those are the black tea in the tumbler. I'm just gonna drink this real quick. This is still the most oily one out of all. It's incredible once you try this. I feel like all the other one feels much drier, but they are actually not dry. It's just you have something to compare, and that makes you easier to understand how certain tea is just much better. That oil makes you feel very refreshing, and this one is very rare pu'er that is so much oil that makes you feel so good when you drink it. Okay. My favorite feature of the teapot, I can pour it out really fast from both holes. See how vibrant, how clean they are. That's how you know it's a good tea. Right? Very clean. There's no cloudiness in it. But even that is not a guarantee that you're drinking premium tea, by the way. It's just guaranteed that it's not a bad tea. So it's like a bit bitter, but the bitterness is followed with really good sweetness. So that's what makes it really interesting. When you drink a lot of tea like me, you're actually going to enjoy that bitterness. All right, the next tea I want to do is a Wui Oolong. It's an aged 2009 or 2007 Da Hong Pao. For a lot of coffee lovers, this should be your coffee replacement. It tastes like a really good, high quality espresso without any acidity. So my favorite tea when I miss coffee. The smell is just so sweet. This is heavily roasted, manually processed. It's old tree, old goose, aged since 2007. So that is 17 years old. And a lot of tea out there, when you age them, they tend to lose a lot of flavor. Not this one. Very rich. Very rich. You can see how beautiful the leaves are. This is Da Hong Pao. Right, 2007 Da Hong Pao. Alright, Da Hong Pao. A lot of my other Wui Oolong has sold out. I've been trying to get them back in stock soon, but delivery from China has just been amazingly slow. So I have very bad inventory right now. My inventory level are very bad. Right, Da Hong Pao. Again, if any of this tea you're interested, you use the code early10 and you're gonna get an extra 10% off. And all of this tea is already on sale, so on top of the discount, it's gonna be even cheaper. All right. We are going to brew my favorite oolong. It's 9:50 a.m. here. Oof. I'm feeling really amazing. There's no big party today. We have a tea tasting at 1:30. But we have a lot of online orders. All right, beautiful. If any of you are close by, you can actually stop by and try some of this tea. All right, so the first tea, normally we rinse the tea, but normally we dump them. But for wee oolong, it tends to taste a lot sweeter, so I like to drink them a little bit, and then before I throw them away. So you can smell the roasted charcoal notes, but it's really, really sweet. It's kind of tucked behind the sweetness, almost like a plum. It's like a sweet plum, slightly smoky, just a little bit smoky, very heavy roast. The smell itself can make you feel really drunky. Look how beautiful the color is. We're drinking tahong bao. Probably need to drink my Japanese tea too. Very, very good. Very thick mouthfeel. For people that are looking for a lot of flavor, honestly, this kind of aged tea might not be for you, but this kind of tea is really amazing. Is how it feels, the texture, the relaxation. There is definitely a taste of plum, but it's not very strong. It's more like in the aftertaste. Very sweet. I want to have some Japanese green tea now. Lately, my favorite will be the Saga Kamairicha, which is like a pan roast green tea from Japan. Alright. I'm all over the place. From pu'er, oolong, black tea. After this, I'm gonna drink Japanese green tea. I gotta have Japanese green tea at least once every morning because it gives the best caffeine feel. Again, that's what the color of the oolong is. 2007 Ta Hong Pao Oolong, roasted with charcoal. Very heavy mouthfeel. That was always one of my favorite. I'm guessing you're talking about the Ta Hong Pao. And then there's a new one called Mei Chan, 2009 Mei Chan. That one's a bit cheaper, but I think this one is a bit better. It's very, very good. Yeah, the Ta Hong Pao is amazing. I'm still, something like this, I'm still amazed when I have people that don't like it. I don't know. It's just, I just feel like the flavor are not the most exciting, but the aftertaste, the sensation is amazing. And I feel like sometimes people are not drinking the way I drink or the way I enjoy them. So it's too bad if you don't like this one, because it's really good. And a lot of aged oolong, they can taste very, very dusty, very, very musky. They don't taste clean like this one. This is so clean. Alright, again, so it's on sale, and since you're watching the live, you get an extra discount. Just use the code that's on the chat on YouTube. It's really just early 10, so it's good to restock. One of my favorite. Just gonna do one more time on this one, and then I want to drink Japanese sencha. Out of all the tea we drink today, this hits me the most. This is the one that makes me the most relaxed. Wow. I wish you understand what I'm feeling right now. And you, those that had the Ta Hong Pao before, you probably understand this kind of relaxation is not something you get from a green tea, from a white tea. You can only get this kind from either Phoenix Oolong or Wee Oolong. And even the both, they feel slightly different. This one is just, it feels like a sunset, where the Phoenix Oolong is drunky, but it's in a wacky way. Or this is just calmer. Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna make Kamairicha. I'm gonna use Shibori Dashi, similar to Gaiwan, slightly bigger. Very good. Saturday morning usually is when I do like a special party event, but I know I'm gonna be busy with online order today, so no event today, and then probably no event until next year. Japanese green tea cannot use boiling, so you want to cool the temperature of the water. This is called Kamairicha. Kamairicha is more like, can't really see it, it's dark, huh? But Kamairicha is like a pan-fried version of Japanese green tea. So if you know a lot of Japanese green tea, they tend to be a lot more like a needle. So if you look at this one, it actually doesn't look like a needle at all. So it's like curly, like a Chinese green tea. It's beautiful. Oh. It's like milky and creamy and buttery. And then it's like a toasted, there's almost like a sea salt to it. Amazing. So I've been drinking this a lot. That this is a pan-fried Japanese green tea. And because winter time, it always tastes better with something that is like a little bit toasted. So this type of green tea is something I will drink over a normal steamed sencha. So if you're looking for a green tea that is like still enjoyable during winter, nothing beats this one. So this is Saga Organic Pan Fry Green Tea. I'm gonna put it on YouTube again. If you still haven't hopped on the YouTube, because the Instagram one is gonna turn off automatically soon because it's only have like a 1 hour limit. Alright, Saga Kamairicha. I'm putting the link of all the tea that I'm drinking also on YouTube. Are those public tea tasting event, do you have those? Yeah, the public tea tasting, like we have like a private, well, not public, really more like semi-private. Like today we have 4 people at 1:30. But you can always book them on the website. All right. The water is way too hot. So what I would do, I will mix them with room temperature to cool it down. All right. And that should do the trick. Water. All right, a little bit more room temperature water. I'm gonna be releasing different tea that is like 50% off during the month of November. So definitely pay attention on those emails. I will announce what is my next tea that I'm gonna put 50% off. But I have something in mind. Which one? And they're not bad. They're just, you know, I have a lot, and I want people to try them. So, and I only do this in the month of November. Usually the most discount I've done is like 20% off. But during the month of November and December, for some reason, I feel a lot more loose with the discount. So I have a lot of customers that only shop with me like during the month of November, which is fine. If you can survive for a whole year with like those supply, that's totally fine. All right. So this is called Shibori Dashi. It has a spout. It has a tit. You can actually use this to make a lot of Chinese tea. They're a bit bigger. So for those that have a bigger hand, this is usually better for you. It's very difficult to find. I can only find this from like a special potters in Japan. I definitely never seen something like this in China. So far at least. China is such a big country. So I like using this for if I'm just doesn't wanna, if I have like a big party and if the tea is a lot finer, I will use this instead of a normal guy one. This was actually, we were selling this online and then it got sold, and then the person who bought it returned it to us. They said that the lid wasn't fit properly. Well, it's not a guy one, and plus with this material you can't make it fit like ceramics. I mean, maybe you can, but at least this style is not, and I'm totally okay with it. And you know, some people don't like that, so I end up using it. I'm glad I'm using it because I love it. It's such a great size for like a party of like 4 or 5 people. So for those that always think that Chinese Kung Fu style is so small, you can see the difference, right? This is like double the amount. So for me, this is much better. Amazing. Amazing. Such a thick mouthfeel. Slightly nutty, slightly savory, umami. There's a lingering roasted aftertaste that is just matched with the weather right now. All right, very good. I can't have too many of Japanese tea in one sitting though. That always makes you want to go restroom a lot. So something with Japanese green tea. So I'm just gonna do that one time. I'm gonna go back to this Xingrenxiang Phoenix Oolong real quick. So good. Now I'm all kind of feeling I'm feeling now. All right. I'm inviting somebody to come now. Some of my regular that live close. Sometimes I invite them. Oh, I'll go back to this one real quick. This is Xingrenxiang. Xingrenxiang, it means almond fragrance. And I also have a ginger fragrance. It's called Jiangmu Xiang. That's a ginger fragrance. And that's not the name of the flavoring, by the way. That's just the name of the cultivar. And they like to use those kind of fragrance as the name of the cultivar. And there are like 30, 40 cultivar that I never even heard of before. Alright. So the next one I also want to try is an Udong Milanxiang, which is a honey orchid from the famous region in Chaozhou, which is called Udong. So this is not from Udong. Anything from Udong is gonna be double in price, regardless if it's good or not. You can see the leaf is a bit bigger. This is not online, unfortunately, because I'm still testing them. So the only tea that is not available yet. I just want to try this because I just have other Phoenix Oolong. I'm gonna compare the smoothness, the flavor, because this is double in price. This is a Udong honey orchid. Okay, Udong honey orchid. All right. Very refreshing. Right, boiling water. This one is like a $70 per ounce kind of tea, like 50 to 70 ish. That's why I don't want to sell it, because I don't think it's the price. I just cannot justify it. It smells really good, very refreshing. refreshing, almost like a flower kind of refreshing. It makes it. It's gotta be makes like a really good perfume. It sounds bad though, but it's really good. Phoenix Oolong, yeah, definitely try the Phoenix Oolong, especially it's on sale. And this is double the price, or triple the price actually. Every udon oolong that I've tried so far has been pretty disappointing. So I was trying to find a good udon Phoenix Oolong. So I actually went to the udon area. Yeah, I can't justify this for $60. This is more like a $20. Smells great though. It has like a grassiness that I'm not a fan of. I'm gonna try it again. Which one is this? I don't know which one you're talking about. Joe, number 2. So if you have any questions with the tea I'm drinking, you know, well, because there's slightly delay from the live to the feed, so sometimes I'll get confused when you ask me. So you'll have to give a little bit more instruction. Again guys, all the tea I'm drinking right now is on sale, except this one that I'm testing. And then on top of it, you get 10% off on top of the sale price, just for using the code early10, which is going to expire when I'm done with my life. And the Instagram will probably shut down automatically very quickly. No, actually it's been over an hour and it didn't shut down. I'm surprised. Usually it's only allow me for an hour. Alright, the next tea I'm gonna do is the 2009 Mei-chan, which is also Wee Oolong. But I just want to try this a couple more times. There's definitely that udon notes on the back end, and it's like that. What makes udon expensive is that small region. It's very tiny region of this Chaozhou area, and there's like a lot of region that makes Phoenix Oolong, but the most expensive one is udon area. I still can't justify. I feel like maybe if I just let it sit for like a few months, I feel like the flavor is gonna get better a lot. So I'm probably gonna wait to see until the taste get better. I can definitely see the potential though. It's definitely growing on me. I like it. I like it more and more for sure. The first brew was a bit grassy. Now the grassiness has disappeared. I'm starting to enjoy it more now. Alright, I am gonna try just one more time. I'm gonna try the premium Mei-chan. Mei-chan. Be right back. Alright, Mei-chan. And then I'm gonna try a new tea. It's called Ban Tian Yao. Ban means half, Tian means sky or heaven. Yao, I'm not sure what is Yao. I gotta look it up. So half heaven. I only know Yao as the meaning of like for your wrist, for your over here. What do you call that? Ban Tian Yao. I'm gonna look it up. What it actually means. Halfway. Oh, waist. I was right. Waist halfway to the sky. What a weird name. It just means halfway to the sky, halfway to the heaven. I'm gonna try that momentarily. All right, Ban Tian Yao. But before we try that, we're gonna try the 2007 Mason. All of this just give me excuse to retry all the new tea I got, by the way. So yes, I'm doing this for live. Yes, I'm doing this to promote my tea. But it's also I'm doing this so that I can practice and understand my tea better. A lot of people doesn't understand that. Ooh, this is so sweet. I'm so excited with this one. This is also one of those. Ooh. So the Tahun Pao earlier remind me of like a sweet plum. This remind me of like a fermented plum that is like fermented with alcohol kind of feel. It's almost like, you know those chocolate, those truffle that have dark cherry and then they put like alcohol in it? That's what it remind me of. Ooh. What do you call that? Like those truffle with like cherry and like vodka. Or like those chocolate bottle, mini bottle thing that have like vodka in it. That's what the smell remind me of. So very holiday feel. No alcohol, obviously. Gonna try this. It's 10:19. Thank you for those that's staying with me this whole almost 90 minutes. I'm just enjoying all this tea even if there's nobody's watching. And whenever I drink something that is expensive and I don't like them, it actually forces me to want to try them again and again because I want to see what's the big deal about it. So I never say no. I will always try to understand them. So keep drinking it, and hopefully I'll figure out what makes them famous. Or I just didn't drink the right one, you know. But regardless, I gotta give them a try. So this next one is Mei-chan. I'm gonna put this Mei-chan. Very, very premium also. Mei-chan 2009 Old Boost Mei-chan Oolong. put the link. I'm gonna compare this with Ta Hong Pao. So I'm probably gonna do something like this again next week, and then another one on the Black Friday. So hopefully we'll get a lot more attention. I think this is a good way to introduce the tea that it's on sale on my website. Very sweet, very sweet, chocolatey. It's like really sweet chocolate notes. This might be my last tea because I need a break before the shop is open. We open at 11 o'clock. It's 10:22 a.m. right now. So we're gonna see. Oh, actually, there's two more tea. I forgot. There's the Pantian Yao, which is the waist toward the sky. Is that what I call? Waist halfway to the sky. That will be the last tea. We're gonna try this 2009 Mei Chan. The color is not as dark as the Ta Hong Pao. This is also on the website, brand new. It's a lot fruitier. It has a drier aftertaste, you know, compared to the Ta Hong Pao for sure. Interesting flavor. You can only learn after you do side by side. In compared to Ta Hong Pao, it's not even close, I feel, the flavor profile. So I probably will have to revisit this again because the flavor wasn't what I remember. It still have a sweet notes. The aroma is definitely chocolatey, but the flavor doesn't bring the chocolate notes that I want. That's the difficulty with tea. There are days you make it and everything just tastes good, and there are days you make it and sometimes they don't taste as good, you know. And you have to be honest with yourself. What's wrong? Interesting. Make it really strong. The color just didn't come out. Interesting. Very bright. I think just because I just had something strong like Ta Hong Pao, and when you try something strong and then you jump into something light, sometimes your palate needs to be refreshed and you just need time. But if tomorrow I'm gonna drink this one first and then drinking the Ta Hong Pao, and that will change the way it feels. Right. This one should be cheaper. This is not on the website. Again, this is called Pan Tian Yao, which is halfway to the sky, it means. This was surprisingly highly recommended by my the farm and the producer. They're very affordable. They're like $15-ish. It's not available yet though. Still testing them. Ooh. All right. For some reason this one wasn't as good as I wanted to. I'm gonna have to revisit that again. The smell was freaking amazing. The taste just doesn't come out. All right, we'll try this one next. Ban Tian Yao. I thought the Yao it means waist, but I wasn't sure. Okay, this one doesn't smell as strong. Also tastes like fermented fruits. Maybe more like a fermented mango. Again, this is called Ban Tian Yao. I'm gonna put the name of this tea online, but again, it's not available, okay? Ban Tian Yao Wui Oolong. This will be the last tea today. I have a tasting at 1:30. Let's see what it tastes like. Very good. Not much flavor. It has a bit like a sweet grass kind of notes. Definitely roasted. Very oily. Very good texture. Almost remind me of like a white tea. Yeah, it's like an aged white tea. With a little bit grassy notes to it. Huh, I wonder if this tea got bitter. So I'm gonna put it stronger. Whew. Alright, let's see. Ooh, a lot darker now. That's the color I'm looking for. I probably didn't do it properly earlier because the color wasn't come close to this. The color should be dark like this. I'm gonna revisit that Mei-chan again. But not today. Drink too much tea. When you drink too much tea, your palate's kind of like messed up. No, this is too strong. I thought this would be the perfect color, but oh man, very astringent. Definitely a no. People are gonna hate me for selling this one. Oof. I don't really want to end with a bad note, so I'm gonna go back to my pu'er again, just to finish my palate with something refreshing. Whew, that was astringent. Wow. Definitely cannot survive stronger brew. It doesn't taste good at all. Very astringent. Wow. I'm very surprised that it was recommended. Go back to this one. So good. My top 5 pu'er. Still beautiful color. Much better. 2018 Chiang Mai raw pu'er. Still one of my favorite. I'll probably make a video about this soon. But anyway, that's it for today. I'm planning to do this again next Saturday to basically promote some of the tea that I come up with that is on sale. And then obviously the next week after that, we're gonna do that too. And I'm probably planning to do a special event on Black Friday for the locals to come and visit us to drink a lot of our tea that is on sale. So other than that, I'll see you again next time. Thank you so much for those that staying with me for like almost 2 hours on YouTube. All right, so I'll see you again until the next stream. Bye.